This episode is brought to you by Freestyle Photographic Supply.
Nice. Get that
Ready to fucking rock and roll?
ready as ever.
Our boarding doors now officially closed, but
Dynamic range.
Sometimes the world works in marvelous ways. A few years ago, I met two individuals, our friends David and Birgit. And even though we live on the complete opposite side of the United States, we still find time to rage. And this time, we rage in Wyoming. Last year, David, Birgit, Jason, and I all went on a tour of the Pacific Northwest together. And apparently that went well. Well enough for us to get the band back together and get our asses out to take some more photos. At the beginning of this idea of a trip, we didn't really have a destination. David's only request was to get some sexy photos of some sexy mountains. I added the sexy part. So inevitably, that's what we did. Since Los Angeles is drastically closer to Wyoming than New York is, Jason and I ended up landing a bit earlier than the other two. So we decided to shoot around the town and eat some barbecue. We didn't want to subject the others to copious amounts of meat this entire trip, so we got our fill while we could. But once those two New Yorkers landed, we hit the road in our brand spanking new Toyota RAV4 with only 7 miles on her. We would be the first ones to ride this beauty into the sunset day after day. We had a 3-hour drive to get to our stay for the evening.
Sun-kissed. Every day.
Damn, boy. She's pretty.
We also knew that we would have the urge to take a bunch of photos on the way up, since we would be driving through sunset. So when we finally couldn't take the sunset any longer, we pulled over near this field and got our cameras ready. Here in this empty pasture, I decided to put some Cinestill 400 Daddy into one of my cameras. I had one more roll in my stash back home, so I needed to give it another go.
Let's get out.
Is there a charging thing?
Same thing.
Jason and I get to share this bed. It's a small twin-size bed.
Because we begged Birgit and David to let us have our beds.
Would you believe me if I said this was the first time it happened? Once waking up, the gang and I only had to step 20 feet away from our front door to get ourselves some coffee. I can't say the coffee was good, but it sure woke us up in some way. So yeah, the light leak was due to me opening the back of the Mamma Mia when I still had 400 Daddy in the camera. Not a great start to the trip.
Bye, lady.
We lied.
The first roll-up of the day was Provia 100F. When you're in one of the most beautiful places in these United States, of course you had to put some Japanese slide film through your camera. We ended up stopping by the side of the road to get our first shots of the day. Now, do these first images inherently suck? Yeah, for a matter of fact, they do. And it's entirely my fault. The Mamiya 7's meter is very finicky, and slide is very volatile. Two things that don't play nicely together.
Choke pow!
It was Cine Still 400D.
Oh yeah!
I shot it at 200.
Woo, shot at 200. It's gonna be fine.
Slightly overexposed.
It's gonna be fine. Birgit looks good overexposed anyway.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
After our little roadside stop, we saw a herd of humans, and also bison alongside the road. So, being curious Kellys, we stopped off to see what the commotion was. Here I realized my first mistake on this journey, besides opening the back of the Mamiya. I should have invested in a long lens. A 150 for the Mamiya would have been a great choice. A lot of times the photos we were taking were further away in the distance, so the longer lens would have been handy. That being said, this image of the fisherman is pretty good. Now I'm sliding back into the groove with some slide film. Next, we decided to stop off at Old Faithful, but we did end up taking a tour to some smaller, less eruptive, but still hot in temperature, geysers.
It's a bit dramatic.
I think we were having a kid in the candy shop type of mentality today. It being our first day out, we couldn't help ourselves but to take photos of nearly everything.
Banger.
And here, boy oh boy, does Provia slay. The saturation that Provia is dishing out is next level.
160.
After this little walk, we ended up getting back to our path to Old Faithful. And on the way, we found ourselves a little buddy looking for some food. These things are massive, and I totally got a rush being so close to one. Made me feel alive again, something I'm constantly chasing. In the meantime, while we waited for Old Faithful to blow her load, we walked around this massive sized crater. I decided to post up around these trees, potentially getting a different vantage point than most might have. And after waiting 15 minutes past her time to blow, she finally went off. Now, did it work? 100% not. These shots are so mid. And this also might be a hot take, but Old Faithful is, well, a little underwhelming. Sure, big water exploding into the air. I don't know. Maybe I'm just damaged. Yet again, having a longer lens might have been better here. Birgit's instant film photo was way better than my entire roll. She nailed it.
Nice.
Now, after that disappointing show, we decided to head north to Artist Point. I'm not sure about the others, but I definitely needed a little bit of inspiration after Old Faithful decided to perform so poorly. Now, while I'm putting some Rolly infrared in the back of my Mamiya, I think this is a good moment to tell you my dirty little secret that I've been keeping since the beginning of 2024. I do in fact have a Fuji digital camera, the XE2, and as you might have guessed, it has yes been converted to infrared. But other than tests and random photos, this is actually my first real outing with this camera. And really, in this timeline, it's the only way to go for color infrared. And the XE2 is actually a fun camera to use. Sure, it's a little dated compared to other cameras out there, but come on, they're all dated. Now, because the IR filter for the black and white infrared is so dense, I have to change my Mamiya's ISO dial to 25, and then put a -2 on the exposure compensation to get the correct exposure. But after seeing a few of these shots, I realized I should have opened up a bit more. Well, the bummer thing is that I shot a roll of slide film one stop underexposed because I had the compensation on, which was annoying because I had infrared in. I just forgot. Unlike our trip to the Pacific Northwest, this time all the film that I brought was some of the freshest film I had laying around in my fridge. At the end of the day, I didn't want to gamble on if my images would come out due to their expiration date. Some of my shots in the Pacific Northwest could have been good if they weren't trash. If any of the images didn't come out, it would be due to my own negligence, like most times. I must say that Golden 120 is becoming one of my new favorite go-to films. It's cheap, and it has great latitude, and it scans so well. Anytime I'm not sure, I go gold.
Tell me this. I have a good riddle.
Yeah?
There exists a green glass door.
I know this one. But dude,
Well, Birgit.
By the way, I did solve the riddle, which I am so proud of myself, because word games, well, they're not my thing.
Sit like this for the next 30 minutes because he's waiting.
Get out of here, bud.
No one will know because the shutter sound sounds so pretty anyway.
Wow.
I would have heard.
Wow. Wow.
It was kind of crazy that our first day on the road, we saw so many types of sceneries. Geysers, waterfalls, and canyons to the open pastures with some bison. This first real evening, we just drank ourselves some Modelo as I took stock of what I had shot that day. Something I would actually forget to do the rest of the trip. Go figure.
I want to make a mask for this.
Today would not be my day. Sometimes you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed, but I know that's hard to understand when you have a hunky man laying next to you. But sometimes it's just out of your control. And first up on that list would be someone backing into our rental car that was under my name. However, this time I did end up getting extra protection. I thought it would be a smart move just in case a bison decided to ram the side of our car because they were in heat and there was 4 sexy individuals inside. I just didn't think it was going to be a golf cart. However, this little morning snafu wouldn't stop us from having fun.
David, so. It looks like his first day.
Maybe.
It's like he hasn't even had a beer yet.
Hi. How's it going?
Not too bad.
Through that water. Pull themselves up.
Overall, today would be a chill day in the park. 2 spots, then a little river lake dip, followed by some dope-ass signs that we saw in town outside the west entrance. And after seeing those cute little baby bison, this day was looking up. Our first stop of the day would be this quaint little lookout. I thought this would be a great place to stop and take my first few photos of the day. It was hella windy though. I guess the photography gods just wanted to punish me a bit more today. Rest in peace, my beautiful lens. It was a good 10 years we had together. Just don't mind me as I cry in the backseat. Here at this pile of cocaine, I figured black and white would be a good choice. It was actually the only normal black and white I would put through my Mamiya all trip. This hard powder mountain was hard for me to photograph. I don't know if it was because I was in a bad mood from the day's events, or maybe it was just one of those places that wasn't the best to photograph at noon. The photos were fine, I guess.
They have. How many speeds did that?
God damn, that was so cinematic.
Was it?
Now onward and outward to our swimming destination. Maybe a little toe dip would wake my mood. Here at this lake, we wanted to just chill and eat some Sammies to nourish our bodies. A little R&R would definitely help.
Nice. Oh, okay. That's the creepiest thing.
Think, Daddy?
Yeah, do you, Sally?
It's not. If I want to watch tan, I'll have a watch tan.
Proud.
21, early 2021. It was my second medium format camera.
What was the first one?
RB67.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Watch yourself.
Later that evening, after the lake, we wanted to hit a location that only the locals really knew about for sunset. And I decided to put some Ektar into my camera, because we were going to be shooting landscapes, and I thought that was the best choice. The crazy thing is that I was tossing back rolls left and right. But we won't worry about how little film I have left at this moment. Let's just enjoy the wonderful light and the majestic cows. Once we were able to make it back up and out of the lake, we noticed that the light was still killing it in the sky. So we pulled over and smashed some more bangers once more.
Oh my god, this is such a banger. Holy. Are there bugs up here too, or did we bring them? We probably just brought them. No, there should be mosquitoes up here.
I don't know what he hates, but he hates it.
The mosquitoes!
Oh, the mosquitoes, yeah. The mosquitoes kind of suck over here. Mosquitoes everywhere. This is the bug dance.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Oh, don't. Oh, they're getting. Ooh.
Hustling. Oh yeah! This guy knows what I'm talking about.
That evening sky was truly beautiful. What a magic scenery for our cameras and eyes to behold.
He's buying a Leica.
It's too enjoyable. I just like being able to shoot more than F4.
However, we weren't done. The gang had to hit the mean streets to shoot some neon beacons in the night. And believe it or not, this was actually the first time David and Birgit both would be dipping their toes into some night photography.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at one thing.
Damn. Sometimes I forget how bloomy that halation can be on 800T. I don't mind it though.
Mississippi 7, Mississippi 8, Mississippi 9, Mississippi 10.
I was so excited to get back into the night, walking around with my camera and my thoughts. It had been a while since I last snapped some neon, and these signs were totally doing it for me. That evening, instead of actual food, we decided to eat different flavors of almonds. It's a new fad diet, and you heard it here first. Ghost pepper and blueberry almonds. You got your veggies, and you got your fruit.
It's probably gonna be good. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think they would bring something to market that
Oh
shit.
god, it smells like blueberry.
No, they would. We're all just doing
You're
a
eating
singular.
all of those?
I don't know. You have to
I
have a
think we're all
healthy...
just doing a
Just
singular.
give me one.
Are we just doing one?
Well,
And if
we
I
at
like
least
it, I'll have
give
more.
6 different types
You
of
can be
almonds.
the shotgun approach or whatever.
Well, I don't think you'll really get the flavor.
I
from
will
the
get the
water.
flavor.
Okay, I'm
These
gonna
look
do
like
two.
Skittles.
They smell really good. They smell like. You already ate one?
Actually, those
I
are
thought we were
good.
gonna do
They're
this
pretty good. Those are actually really good.
No, I don't like it.
Spin. Woo! Ballerina.
Today we say goodbye to our Westgate Yellowstone home. Per my request, this morning would see one of the only abandoned sites that I would lay my lenses upon. But once I finished the 800T from the night prior, I figured this would be a good time to slap in some more infrared black and white into my Mamiya 7. I must say that this little homestead on both flavors of infrared was quite scrumptious. This would also be the first time I was shooting with a new Voigtlander 21mm lens. It gave me an equivalent 32mm on the Fuji. At this point in the trip, I was getting extremely low in my 120 inventory. When we did the Pacific Northwest, I shot around 12 medium format rolls, and since this trip was shorter, I thought I'd stick close to that number. Little did I know that I would be shooting faster than Quick Draw McGraw, but luckily there was a camera store on our way out of town that I could hit up. Unfortunately, the only 120 film they had was Portra 160. I guess it's better than nothing. Just you wait, because my attitude would change. So after the gang got their fix, we hit the road south, driving and driving and driving to the south gate of Yellowstone. But to break up our endless journey, we stopped off by the water side to take a little homie hang session. Just chilling here was a nice little moment. A peaceful lake, lapping at the shore, us four friends just sharing a log on the side of the road. But also, what the f am I wearing today? Who dressed me this morning? How I tricked someone into marrying me is a mystery. Back on the road towards this evening's lodging, we were getting a bit hungry, so we stopped off at the pier overlooking the Tetons.
Holy this looks good.
Who ordered a bread as pizza?
Bread ass pizza right here. Good lord.
At this point, the light was getting way too good not to sling our cameras and snap some shots. So we all just went our separate ways looking for some good images. And let me just tell you, holy guac stock bros, Portra 160 slays. And I didn't know if you knew that. Looking at these boats in the distance made me really want to be on one. Sleeping on one, living that lake life. Maybe someday that can happen. Or maybe not. Kinda sounds expensive. Once we hit the road, I decided that I hadn't quite used my Leica enough on this trip. David actually has given her more love than I have. So I decided to remedy that by loading in some Vision 3 film. One thing about Wyoming you should know if you haven't been is that it is massive and empty, and quite pricey if you go during the summer. Our next day was about an hour and a half away from the Tetons. Yeah, we were quite out there. The closest town was actually 30 minutes away to our east.
Upstairs?
And yeah, our stay was actually built on the base of a trailer and definitely had an interesting smell inside.
Oh, these are fun.
We were very much out there in the wilderness. No real internet, no cell service, only our friendship and a shoddy Roku connection to keep us company. Now after checking in, getting our key and checking out the digs for the evening, we decided to go chase the light once more. Here, I kept shooting the Portra that was left in my Mamma Mia 7 in conjunction with the 500T in my Leica. The saturation of the Portra was outstanding. I honestly didn't expect it. As for the 500T in my Leica, that's another story. On this trip, I intentionally didn't bring expired film, but I don't know if that's the case here. This 500T felt like it hadn't aged that well. The shadows were a bit crunchy and not the best.
Anyone want to sit down for a moment and enjoy the view?
No, look at me for a sec.
Hi. Do you smell my kitty?
Lauren, look what he's eating.
Later that evening, we would see our oldest tradition, movie and nail night, baby.
All for the bangers.
All for the bangers.
All for the bangers.
Sleep is temporary, bangers are forever.
But we can't do the Tetons without being basic bitches. I must admit, I never in my 10 years of shooting film have ever taken so many photos of the exact image, waiting for the right one. Is this barn photo different from any other barn photo taken here? No, probably not, but I do really love it. And it showed me the phenomenal power of Portra 160. To be honest, I thought Portra 160 was a bit middle of the road, but it is so much more than mid. It slaps, baby. And just because this barn is maybe the most photographic thing in the Tetons, doesn't mean you shouldn't go shoot it.
I just ran out of film.
It's gonna be a banger.
Just as good.
Vision 3500T.
At this point, it was 7 a.m. and I hadn't had my coffee yet. That isn't good for anyone involved. If I was going to keep my composure and not go murderous rampage on everyone, I needed to fix that fast. So we ended up driving into Jackson Hole for some nourishment. The rest of the day, we would actually just take it easy. Since we were up so early, we needed to recharge. We would drink and play card games and then head into the nearest town. Fun fact, Birgit is the only one who wears this Caleb shirt besides me. And I don't know what that says about me.
Where's yours?
Now, before we get any further into the Tetons, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Freestyle Photo. Based here in LA, but ships worldwide, Freestyle is the place for you to go for any type of film that you can think of. Whether it's black and white, color, or even the godly Lomo 800, you can find literally anything there. They make it their mission to carry as many different type of films and photography products as possible so that you have the choice to experiment and play. And you can rest assured that the folks at Freestyle know exactly what they're talking about since they've been around the block for the better part of 75 years. And if you are looking into printing your ever so beautiful photos, Freestyle is a place for you to go for traditional darkroom enlarging materials or inkjet printing. They have a print master on staff so they can answer any questions you might have to get started. Freestyle is striving to get film into the hands of those that love the medium and want to keep exploring that love even further. So if you're new to film or have been shooting since birth, Freestyle is a place for you to go for all your photo and film needs. Just check out the link in the description box below to find what strikes your fancy. Okay, let's get back to shooting some more mountains. Coming into this trip, I knew exactly 3 things. We were going to get some banging photos, we would have a lot of laughs, and we would be watching Twilight New Moon. We watched the original on our Pacific Northwest trip. It's a tradition we have now to watch a different Twilight film every trip we take. However, there was one snag. I purchased the DVD under the pretense that there was a DVD player at our stay, which there wasn't one. So, yeah, I bought one. The things you do for tradition.
Beat that, Mate.
Just kidding. I love you.
It's very fascinating, the things you find out in the country. This place had all these different pumps and cars and sheds just lying around for what seems to be no reason at all. But at sunset, they all look really, really nice. So no complaints here. I'm gonna be happy to go back to a place that has no mosquito.
LA has mosquitoes now, dog.
Okay, homie, but like, you get it. You get
A few years ago. Only David knows how to do it.
That was the motivation.
So, I haven't really kept up the last 2 days of what I've shot, so it is what it is.
These violent delights have violent ends. And in their triumph die, like fiery powder.
Waking up this morning was bittersweet. It would be our last day together on this trip. We decided to take another easy day overall, starting with a chill morning in Du Bois. We really ended up liking that town yesterday, so we thought it would be a good place to get some coffee and some grub. While we were getting our coffee, a local spotted our cameras and told us about a secret spot that overlooked the town. And being open to whatever, we decided to go and check it out. One of my favorite things about traveling in the United States is seeing small towns like this. Being from the Midwest myself, it kind of brings me back home. Here, I think shooting 35 in this town was the right choice. It made it feel a little bit more personal and grounded.
Black and white Tri-X that I rolled myself because I'm a Bosch. Or whatever you want to call me. You don't have to call me the Bosch.
Here at this diner, I snapped some of my favorite photos of these two ladies eating together. Even though this one is a bit underexposed, it works well. I love how the two are almost mimic each other's body language. I remember in that moment hoping that I had gotten that photo, and I so did. After a good meal, we said goodbye to Du Bois and hit the road back to the Tetons. Two things were left on our agenda for today, and we needed to cross them off our list. After this little bison crossing pit stop, we arrived at a church overlooking the Tetons. Apparently, this place was still operational. This shot inside is actually an interesting comparison between black and white infrared. I like how the mountains in the background of the IR shots are darkened, and you can see more detail in the clouds. Infrared is just dope. I really dig this general supply shot on both flavors of infrared, but I think that the Fuji one takes the cake. I really love the surrounding red against the white building. Now, if the clouds in the sky were any indication of potential rain, we didn't pay attention. Swimming was on our next agenda, so we headed back to Lake Jenny. So apparently, the park ranger said that there's going to be a massive storm rolling through, so we're not going to go to the lake at the moment. We're just going to hang out in the car and just chill, drink a beer maybe, and then see when it passes. This is good. So good. Peaches and tangerine. Brewskis. To lightning. I have for you this brews. Countenance astray. I did my bid and blazed my load.
Week's work. See you later, cabin. Peace out.
Here at the end of the Wyoming mountains, there's always one thing that rings true: friendship. Having a band of merry photographer misfits all come together to take photos in the wild is just what we love to do. Sure, did my camera lens break? Did a golf cart hit our car? And did our cabin smell weird? Yeah, all those things are true. But what is even more important than any of that is the time that we spent together. And now, with this being an annual tradition, the memories are the only thing that matters. So the only thing left to say is, where's next?